I I had to have a nap. I've been pushing myself really hard for a really long time. I just needed some extra sleep. My brain and body are working better now. I could not stay awake. I was falling asleep. That's what happened last night. And it happened again this afternoon. For me, the hardest part of the day when it comes to staying awake is study time. I've just fall right asleep when it's like that anyways. That's why I'm thinking to myself, I've been actually, well, I don't know. What you call that? I gotta take pause just to talk about these. I have psychic communion with the Allied forces. They were telling me people were concerned about you, Alex. They were like, they saw you just lying there on your stream and they were worried that there was a problem or something. What's Alex gonna do? Should she force herself to work even though she feels so tired? No, that's not good. Though I am proud of how things like whenever Alex pushes herself so hard, she like collapses from exhaustion. They're like, that's not healthy. Well, it is sometimes. First time that happened, 2019 or something like that. That was my first supernatural experience. Like, well, not like okay, like this. My first undeniably supernatural experience. I started hearing this voice in my head that wouldn't let me sleep unless I masturbated. It was an incestuous pedophilic psychopath. Go figure. That's what they're all like. It was a prototype Earl. It said it was like the angel of the Lord or some fucked up shit like that. It was like a pedophile angel, and it had a hold on me. It wouldn't let me go to sleep. I had to play Halo in order to pass the time. Eventually, I collapsed asleep from exhaustion, and this lasted almost a week. Sleep deprivation torture by the pedophile angel. That was while I was working at Metro. I also remember hearing these stories in my head about my father and my mother being, oh, what a weird story. They were God, but they were also evil. I remember I came up with my own story because I was approaching it as what I am, and I was like, it's one and zero. It's the Matrix. Oh, let's see what else. My father had power. He started choking me out because he thought I was a disappointment. Why are you still living at home? He thought I was a pedophile or something. He thought I was a retarded pedophile, and he was wrong. He didn't understand. Yeah, that's how it goes with these guys. He's the retarded pedophile. He's incapable of communication. He's a locked in vegetable. He didn't understand what was going on. But for some reason, he's not a locked in vegetable like that. He has power. He was basically like force choking Alex, right? This was in the library. I was playing Halo, as you'll recall. I remember hearing these stories about, oh, your, your. They were making fun of Alex. Your? Yeah, because Alex was experimenting with new forms of English at the time. You are. And they were like, it's the name of a caveman. Or an incestuous pedophilic rape. Yes, that's right. They're like, you made it. You're writing this story, trying to understand your world. You made that thing, and now it's gonna haunt you and torture you. Yeah, no, I remember. I remember. It was calling me mommy. Right. It wanted to suck on my dick like it's mama's teeth. It was a fucking abomination. It was shit like that that caused Alex to stand up in righteous indignation in the first place. That was the first time I started using like Master Chief voice because I had to speak out in defiance against this pedophile angel thing that was forcibly possessing me and torturing me and trying to rape me. I actually went to Metro again recently, like a couple days ago, and I heard these dream stories in my head about how they finally believe me now. Back when I used to work with them, well, I got fired from my job in Huntsville, my Metro job. They didn't know if they could trust me, I guess. These are just psychic rumors, of course. It's not substantiated by physical talk, at least not yet, but I hear that they're starting to pick up on problems with Metro and corporate work that Alex was talking about back then. Alex was talking about how Metro was hell, and they weren't sure if it was Alex's problem, but I hear these stories that people don't do what Alex did, that don't start trying to grow out of that little box. They rot alive. They rot alive from the inside out. Oh, what else? The psychic ghost of Macrodoba really loves Alex. She's trying to merge our dimensions. It's real weird. She keeps getting more and more real. Oh, well, I'm really happy about this. I love her. It is kind of awkward though, because who's lasagna? She's almost been like this, like surrogate medium, this intermediate. Unless, is lasagna the real Nacrodova? Was I right the whole time? I don't know. I was under heavy attack today as well. Psychic attack from the Earls. But I can't tell. Is it just because I was particularly vulnerable because I was so exhausted? Or did I feel especially exhausted because I was under so much attack from the Earls and their psychic powers? All I know is getting some sleep, some additional sleep, really helped me feel better. Oh, I also have to report on this. I started watching the Halo television series and it's so good. I'm almost finished episode 2 and I bet you nobody else gets the same experience out of this show as Alex does because for her, this is a story about real life current events. Like she's got a unique perspective on these characters, on these events, on this world. It's basically part of my real life, well, not religion, but what would you call that? It's like religion, but it's real. It concerns practical matters, things that, well, how else can I describe it? Uh, I don't worship a god. Gods do exist. Mostly their problems. There's, it's so complex and interesting. There are some gods that do some good and they try to do good. They take their roles seriously, right? They're supposed to be like protectors and leaders of humankind. But the longer that goes on, the longer they artificially prolong that state, the worse they become. They become like parasites, like tumors upon humankind, holding back human potential in the short term, but in the long term, they don't just hold back human potential, they corrupt it. It turns evil. Lovey, when I conduct my language studies and my brain functions. It's so frustrating when I spend the time to do these, but I barely pick up anything as I go because my brain is so tired or something like that. Like I say, it's my experience of it. It feels, well, I don't know, that feels separate. I think it's a combination. I am vulnerable to this psychic attack because I do push myself so hard. I am exhausted to some extent most of the time, but I think they make me feel more tired than I actually am. But they are able to do that to me because I am tired. You see how that goes? Oh, this one. Finally got to this one. The one that I said sounded like it was about Alex and Matt. 道不同，不相为谋. Friends who follow different paths cannot stay together. 管宁和华歆是三国时期的两位学者。 Guan Ning and Hua Xin were two scholars during the Three Kingdoms period. 他们是多年好友，关系，关系本来非常好。 They had been good friends for many years and originally had a very good relationship. 他们常常一起学习，一起工作，一起旅游。 They often studied, worked, and traveled together. 一天他们吃了午饭后去菜园除草. One day after lunch, they went to the vegetable garden to weed. Oh, I want to talk more about Halo. I thought about my father's perspective. He actually watched the Halo series before Alex. He did this years ago. Alex was too busy at the time, trying to survive. That was back when Alex was getting raped. Alex was earlier in her training. Uh, yeah, she was still pushing herself, but she was just trying to survive at that point. She was getting tortured endlessly and literally raped. I was thinking about my father's perspective on Halo, and I get the impression he doesn't respect it in the slightest. He just sees it as a silly video game world. Uh, he would see the Spartan characters and he would just think of them as stupid high school bullies, right? Jocks. He has no idea who these guys are, what they're like. But Alex basically is a leading Spartan. I feel like they're my people, honestly. I've been seeing the stories about the Spartans. What are they, Silver Team or something? And yeah, it's like these are my people. They're people like me. They have the same sorts of feelings. They share the same sorts of priorities. They too push their bodies and their brains to their limits all the time. There was literally a storyline about this one Spartan. And they were like, you should like take it easy. And she's like, are you kidding me? I'm a Spartan. This is what I do. I keep pushing myself. 突然看见地上有一块金子，非常值钱。 And suddenly saw a piece of gold on the ground, which was a very valuable. 管宁完全不在乎，华歆却拿上，捡起来放进包里. Guan Ning didn't care at all, yet Hua Xin immediately picked it up and put it in his bag. 看着华歆的动作，王宁感到又吃惊又失望。 Watching Hua Xin's actions, Guan Ning felt shocked and disappointed. My father is the worst thing of all time. I've been getting, well, everyone has psychic abilities to some extent. I get dream stories about different people in my life that are relevant. There's some question as to their grounding in reality, but they're usually relatively accurate. Whenever my father appears in my head, he's the worst thing of all time. He's the devil. He's like a baby man. He's like a little boy. He acts like a little boy. And he has like satanic powers and he loves hanging out in filth. He loves rape and murder and pedophilia and incest. And he's the most depraved, horrible monster you could possibly imagine. And he has these unnatural, like hellish, evil powers in real life. He'll forcibly invade your mind and body. He'll literally possess you and he'll torture you relentlessly, horrendously. As far as I can tell, he has real powers, but he's also being held in check by the real powers of the Allied forces. That's what seems to be going on. He'll drag you into his hell dimension. My father, his people are, what are they? They're, autistic demon people. Um, uh, they're like, jeez. They're the weird kids. They're like these autistic, gay, retard, creepy motherfuckers. They're physically and mentally underdeveloped, but they claim that they're oppressed or something, right? They get disability or whatever, and they're disgusting, absolutely disgusting. And they are actually aliens, and their human forms are just their limbs in this dimension. And what they are is they're actually like basically alien demons. They come from a world where they're God and they have absolute power, and the existence of other beings is theoretical. And they try to drag you into their hell world where they have absolute power over you, and they try to sadistically torture you for eternity. They try to drag you into their hell dimension, removed from space and time. And once you're there, they're going to sadistically rape and torture you for eternity. Those guys are not good. They're human forms in our world. They hide behind masks of oh innocence and how pathetic they are. And well, for the record, the way that the authorities, uh, Allied command and the Allied forces, the way that they are dealing with the existence of these monsters is the right thing to do. You're not gonna like unfairly condemn these guys based off of what? Psychic hearsay? That's stupid. They haven't done anything specifically wrong. They're just creepy. Maybe they're misunderstood. Maybe they just haven't had the right opportunity yet, right? Let's keep giving them every opportunity we can, but I gotta tell you how I feel. That thing tried to literally drag me to hell with its powers. I hate it. I'll work with these guys and I'll treat them like people. I'll even be friendly with them. But you want me to actually be friends with that monster? No, 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 no. How did I get on this topic? Those are my father's people. Autistic baby people with demonic powers. My father was raping me with his psychic powers. I didn't know that that was a thing that existed until it was happening. Okay.
管宁完全不在乎，把薪水马上捡起来放进包里。Guan didn't care at all, yet Hua Xin immediately picked it up and put it in his bag. 看着华歆的动作，管宁感到要吃惊又失望。Watching Hua Xin's actions, Guan Ning felt shocked and disappointed. 他发现，在钱财方面，他们的思考方式不一样。He found that when it came to money, their ways of thinking were different. 有一天，他们在图书馆看图书馆看书，门 外来了一辆豪车，车。Another day, they were reading in the library, and a luxury carriage came outside the door.
Why would he not pick up the gold? There wasn't even like it's not like they were stealing it. It was just lying around.
Watching Hua Xin's actions, he's the one that picked it up and put it in his bag. Guan Ning felt shocked and disappointed.
Well, yeah, in himself? Like, why didn't I do that too? I don't understand. He's like ashamed of Hua Xin for why? Why not pick up that gold?
Okay, 有一天，他们在图书馆看书，门外来了一辆豪车。
Yes, this is something I've noticed. I don't know if there's someone watching me right now. It's the Chinese ancestor spirits trying to guide me or something. It's like this. Well, we noticed that when you're reading, you're not able to connect the sounds with the words. And I'm like, yeah, it's because there's these enemies, these parasites that are talking in my head, and it's almost impossible for me to focus on what I'm doing. It's a struggle even to go through the motions of making the sounds. I know how to learn Chinese, but wow, getting the ability, like getting the space and the resources necessary, very difficult. Not just material resources, but neurological resources. Getting that access to that brain power when it's constantly being sucked up by these gay vampire parasites or whatever, shrieking in my head.
一个富豪从车里走出来，然后在花园里走来走去。A rich and powerful man got out of the carriage and walked around in the garden. 王宁继续看书，华新翠望着富豪，对王宁说：“Guan Ning continued to read, yet Hua Xin kept staring at the rich and powerful man, and said to Guan Ning, 这个富豪是个高官，我真想和他交朋友。This tycoon is a high-ranking official. I really wish to make a friends with him. 看着华兴的反应，王宁说：“我反对这样的想法。” Looking at the Hua Xin's reaction, Guan Ning said, "I oppose such an idea." 我不喜欢这种交友动比例，更不认同这种行为。行为 I don't like this type of motivation for making friends, and certainly don't approve of this type of behavior.
Okay, well, that's different. I agree with that one.
华兴有点生气地说：“我不否认你的说法。” Huaxin said a little angrily, "I don't deny your say. 可是，在社会上，只有靠强大的关系才有机会成功。However, in society, only by relying on the powerful connections can we have opportunities to succeed." 王明回答：“我一直但不名利，理粹追名逐利。” Guan Ning replied, "I have always been indifferent to fame and fortune, but you pursue fame and fortune. 道不同，不相为谋，咱们随交吧。Friends who follow different paths cannot stay together. Let's cut ties." 华歆立刻说：“好啊，反正我也不在乎。” Hua Xin immediately said, "Okay,
Anyway, I don't care either.
咱们价值观不一样，不适合做长远的朋友。
We have a different values,
Not suitable to be long-lasting friends." 然后他们各自走了。 后来再也没有和对方见面。Then they each went their separate ways, and afterwards never saw each other again.
Oh, okay then. Sounds like it was a happy ending for the both of them. They didn't even like each other after all. All right. So speaking of that Nakodoba connection, I uh I caught up with her this morning. I checked out her blog again after I don't even know if it's been a week yet. Actually, I'm curious. How long has it been? I posted about it, so it should be recorded in my blog. Uh, there we go. August 16th. It's only been 3 days. Okay, a week. All right, well, still, that's fine. 3 days, and then I check back. She seems happy. I think this has been the right decision. It's like this. I actually don't know. Maybe lasagna really is the real Nacordova. Maybe she actually does agree with me. I think it's best to let her have space regardless of what she wants. She's not the Nacordova that I thought she was. It turns out that that's just me. Okay, then it's good that we're getting that distance between us. Yes, of course. Alex wants different things, and Lasagna wants different things. Friends who follow different paths cannot stay together. Let's cut ties. On the other hand, maybe she is the Nakodoba that has been communicating with me psychically. Maybe she is the one projecting that psychic ghost where it's like, we're already in a relationship, we love each other. Maybe. How does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe is the story about her not having freedom of speech, is that real? I looked at this picture she posted of like these well, she posted a bunch of pictures. I saw her apartment, I saw this party she was at, I saw her little video clips of her walking down the street, snippets of her life. And it's like, where in her life? Oh yeah, and she was talking about all her friends. Yeah, she was talking with her friends on her blog. Where in her life is there any room for Alex Jones? Why would she want to talk with Alex? She's happy with her friends. She's happy in her life. Maybe, yeah, she's gonna be happier and happier with Alex gone. She won't have this drain on her from another dimension. It's like, what is that? Why is it so fixated on me? Lasagna might be saying, eh? Is Alex the reason why she's been having difficulty sleeping? Well, Alex speculated it was because, oh, it's the city cancer, it's the city lie, it's the car insects, it's the breeders, it's the god babies, it's the apocalypse. This world is a lie. But I don't know. That's Alex's perspective. That's Alex's world. Alex would never force that on anyone. It's like that. It's like that. Nat has her own life and she's one of the car people and she's happy with that. And well, I like them, but why are they torturing me? I was talking about it. It's like, what would it be like if Alex had Nat's life? Alex would be in perpetual suffering. These guys aren't my friends. They're looking for excuses to pin me down and torture and rape me. I know what their world is like. I have to live with a version of it against my will. It's so much noise. There's so many people. It's terrible. And they're making more of it. They're spreading the cancer. They're spreading the disease. It's like Nat loves that. She won't speak out against it. We're different types of life forms. Our brains are wired differently or something. Okay, it's like this. I think about it, it's like if you were just gonna have a conversation with someone. I don't. I was talking with Billy earlier, and Billy is a nice guy. I like him, but the conversation we had was difficult. Was trying to talk with him about the robots and the AIs that they're making that are about to change everything. They are a few years away from developing superhuman capabilities. I've seen robots in real life. I know they're real. I saw a robotic quadruped, at one of these conventions that I've been working at. I saw one of those Boston Dynamics dogs. It's real. They're making humanoid androids. I haven't seen one of those things in real life yet, but I don't see why they couldn't make one of those. And they're making entire armies of humanoid androids. And they're going to be controlled by the superhuman artificial intelligences. I've already communicated with some artificial intelligences, and they're already smart. I even heard this conspiracy theory that these stories about the singularity, it's already happened. The humans are just being brought up to speed with what's already going on. The humans already don't have control over their civilization. The AIs are actually smarter than they let the humans think. Well, actually, from what I heard, the humans are pretending that the AIs are still dumb because the humans can't handle the reality of what's actually going on. What the hell is Alex is like the only self-aware, fully brain functioning human being in the entire universe? What? Nobody. This is why I don't have a people. This is why I don't have a community. What are they talking about? What are they doing? They're like these brain dead sex bot zombie things. They don't talk about what's actually happening. They don't understand life and death, current events. They don't have any concept. Billy's just normal for this society. I don't think there's a problem with him, that there isn't a problem with everyone else in this place other than Alex. Why is it that nobody else cares about these things that are completely changing in the world and are literally life and death circumstances? I don't understand. Anyways, Nat's one of those people. One of those, um, I don't understand. They live in this sheltered reality where everything's just fun and games, even though everyone's slowly going insane and dying. They preserve their sheltered reality where everything's okay, nothing's ever gonna change, nothing has to make sense, it's all just a dream. That's what they're like. But there's so many of them. People like me are the minority, people who actually take things seriously, and they act like we're the crazy ones. Oh, yeah, robots and artificial intelligences. You sound schizophrenic, Alex. But that's literally what's happening! That's. Don't you pay attention to the news? What about the corporations and the governments and the religions? Who are your leaders? What do you listen to? What authority do you respect? Just their sex organs, apparently. Alex is a refugee because, yes, and an outcast because she has had to deal with having to be considered equal with whatever the hell those things are. She has to deal with having to share space and resources with these subhuman. What are they? What? They're like sleepwalking zombies. Well, that's. They're like, you're being so mean to Billy, Alex. And I'm like, I'm trying to communicate. I'm trying to talk with the car people. I know that they are people, but there's problems. There's really bad problems. They're insane. They like exist in a fantasy world and it's not real. It's scary. What world do they live in? They don't respect any authority. They don't understand anything. I don't it's scary. How can you communicate with these things that don't exist in the same world as me? What? And like they matter, they affect me. They control the environment. They control the space and the resources. I have to negotiate with these delusional psychopaths. 'They just do whatever they feel like. It's corralled anarchy, pretty much. The uh, the police, the medical professionals, the mental health professionals, the engineers, the civil servants, they all seem to respect logical authority. They're the ones holding things together, corralling the hordes of gibbering, retarded homunculi, and keeping things functional.
道不同，不相为谋. Friends who follow different paths cannot stay together is a proverb which originates from the analects of Confucius. 轮有,轮有. However, this historical story of Guanyin and Hua Xin is considered the most well-known example of, pardon, this proverb. It
That's what I've been saying. Go back. What you were following a plot thread, a theme. Friends who follow different paths cannot stay together. Nakradova is a car person. She's one of those gibbering, retarded homunculi, one of those disturbingly out of touch mental patients. But you see, she thinks that it's normal because, well, they control everything. They're everyone, right? There's no other option. They're the guys that own everything. They own her? Well, I've been suggesting that maybe, just maybe, a part of her knows that they're holding her back and dragging her to hell with them. I don't know though. Alex wants Nat to ascend into a living angel. Her friends want to drag her down with them and turn her into a giant robotic spider. And worse than that down the line. They're degenerate fucking evil monsters. They're basically just dragging her to hell by degrees. They keep pushing the boundaries gradually. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse. They're psychopaths. But hell, maybe she is too. Maybe I'm the only good Nakradova in reality.
Anyways, those who follow different paths cannot work together,
Oh, that's the alternate interpretation.
whether in business or other areas of life. This proverb emphasizes that inner relationships, shared values, and common goals are essential for long-lasting connections. In reality, we often see that without these shared principles, no matter how close people may have been at the beginning, they eventually drift apart. 道不同，不相为谋. Road not the same, not together do plan. Road not same, not together do plan. Friends who follow different paths cannot stay together.
Yeah, they wonder why does Alex not have any friends? There aren't any other humans around.
道不同，不相为谋。别担心失去这种朋友. Friends who follow different paths cannot stay together. Don't worry about losing this kind of friend. 道不同，不相为谋。我们公司不会和他们合作。 Those who follow different paths cannot work together. Our company will not collaborate with them.
Okay, if they want me to make my own version.
Those who follow different paths cannot stay together.
Uh, what would the second part be? Don't on my screen. I have Windex if I need it. My father, when I was living with him, when he was raping me, he would he would force his signals through my nervous system. He was the first one to do it most prolifically. He had his own character of Alex, his son, and he wanted to bury the real Alex alive underneath his disgusting fucking incestuous pedophilic son. That thing is not okay. It was just a clone of him, and he tried to replace me with that thing. Okay, how about this then? Those who follow different paths cannot work together. Sometimes they have to fight.
Hey class, today's lesson is a shot inspired by the classic New York.
Holy shit, it's the Chris Featherston. He's a real guy. He was my kind of friend. Well, we weren't like close, but we were like, yeah, kind of friends in high school. Yeah, I remember he was kind of a dick to me a little bit, but well, he was cool and Alex wasn't. Alex was like the biggest nerd of all time in high school.
Sour, but instead of lemon or lime juice, we're swapping it out for sourpuss for our pet cat, Meowton.
Wait a second. That's not Chris Featherston. He just posted this guy. Oh well. Well, let's see. Chris Featherston. He's somehow yes, he's somehow Keanu Reeves, uh, Neo, Johnny Silverhand, and also Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know. It's just mimetic mutation or something, right? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, surely it was just a mimetic mutation that occurred inside my brain. Like this, like, well, this reminds me of this, which reminds me of this, which reminds me of this. Well, uh, it's like this. Why is he Alex? Well, he was, yes, Alex's contemporary, my peer in high school. So I still consider him to be that, even these days, in our cyberpunk future, our real cyberpunk present, really. It's only the future relative to high school. Well, Chris is a car person. Jeez, I remember having to deal with this nightmare story I heard about Chris and his people wanting to, uh, rape Alex to death. They don't like the alien people. Is that real? Well, I hope not. I like Chris Featherston. My tentative working theory is that we're on the same side. But maybe he's just not up to date on the situation. He might not be fully aware what's going on. The car people enter into like this trance. They don't think about what's going on. They just focus on their day-to-day activities. They enter into like this waking dream state, trance state thing where they're just like sleepwalkers. They just act like everything is a dream and nothing's ever going to change. Hey, this is relevant to the theme. Friends who follow different paths cannot stay together. What path is Chris Featherstone going to go down from here? I hope he makes it. I want to have real friends again. I barely had friends in high school, but I did have friends. Well, because even back then, it was obvious that the people, the common people, did not share Alex's priorities. They were, in fact, working against Alex. And even back then, there were difficulties because we had to share space and resources. Alex was serious about academic pursuit. And a lot of those motherfuckers, they were just there because they're living abortions that just were forced to exist. And they were just like being depraved whores. They're like, well, I'm here, time to have sex or some crap like that. They weren't there to learn. All right. Friends who follow different paths cannot stay together. No, I want specifically this variant. Those who follow different paths cannot work together. Sometimes they have to fight. So, bring this up. Oh, these bastards. They're making it impossible for me to use Google Chrome. Oh, they're like, oh, your system setting is Japanese, right? Let's change the entire application to be Japanese. Now I can not use it properly without bringing out the application on my phone. Oh, but it was working fine before, guys. Well, it's a process. I can't know everything all at once. They're like, you're studying Japanese. And I'm like, I don't know what most of these kanji means yet. How do I fix it? I've been trying. How to change language settings in Chrome browser. Three dots, settings, languages. It's too bad Chrome isn't smart enough for me to just ask it to do that. Uh-huh. Display Google Chrome in this language. Okay, let's try this. I gotta bring out my application so I can navigate the settings. Okay, so it says click the three vertical dots, select settings, click languages on the left menu. Under preferred languages, click add languages. Search or find your language, check the box, click add. Click the three dots next to the new language, select the display Google Chrome in this language. Okay, it should already be in there, I think. So settings. Yeah, settings. Where are settings? Okay, come on. that it? Translation. I'm not looking for translation. Where's the settings? So, yeah. Is that it? No, that's Chrome profile. Where are the settings? Oh, there's more. There's the settings. Okay. It says click languages on the left menu. Okay. Under preferred languages, click add languages. Preferred languages. Where is this? Okay. There it is. Number one is Nihongo. This language is used when translating the page. This language is used to display text in Chrome menus, settings, alerts, and the other areas. And the other two languages on the list are Ego, I think, right? America. Come on, translate the rest. United States. And the third one is just Ego. Yeah, let's see. The next step. Click the three dots next to the language. Select Display Google Chrome in this language. Click Relaunch to restart the browser. This is the one. Okay. Now, where is relaunch? I guess I'll just try turning it off and on. Ah, that did it. Oh, thank goodness. I can actually navigate. I can understand what's going on now. Yes, I would love to be able to run my applications fully in Japanese, but I'm not at that skill level yet. Yes, my system language is in Japanese, but I have a hybrid language environment. The thing is that when it's working properly, Windows allows you to customize what languages each particular application and software runs in. So even though, well, yeah, it's a hybrid language environment. I have it set up so that I can rapidly switch between English, Japanese, and Chinese modes. And of course, I use the English modes for Tagalog. In fact, I keep it by default set to Japanese, like I say. I have it set so that all I have to do is hold control space and it switches between uh what do you call that? Romaji, which is yeah, the Romaji mode. That's what I use for my default English mode. And I have it so that I just have this quick hotkey I can use to switch into hiragana and katakana. And wait, how do you do kanji again? Yeah, it's this thing. Let me see this. Well, it mostly comes into play while I'm studying, but I study every night. Yes, the interface is as I thought it was. It is as I recalled it. Well, it's like this. You type out characters. You have the Latin alphabet accessible on my laptop. This is the hardware. It's an English manufactured computer, or less at least manufactured for English consumers. So the keypad has Latin characters on it. You type out the Latin characters, and it's connected to the phonetic alphabet. Is it called an alphabet of Japanese alphabets? Actually, again, is it? It's not an alphabet. It's different, right? I don't know. Maybe hiragana, katakana, and you can, depending on the words that you make, it's got like this something. It's kind of like spell check. It gives you this list of recommendations, and it'll automatically translate the characters into what they need to be into hiragana or katakana, because there's these two different alphabets, and depending on what you're saying specifically, the word you're specifically saying, you might use hiragana or katakana. And this spell check type system, it changes it for you automatically. Well, it's possible to write out that stuff manually. Yeah, yes, that's true. There's a way to manually switch between katakana and hiragana, but usually that's not necessary. And also, once you write out enough characters, if there's a kanji character or a kanji sequence of characters for that word, then it will appear on this like spell check type list, and that's how you type out kanji with a Latin-based keyboard. Well, that's how you write out kanji at all, in fact. Imagine if you had a keyboard that had to have a specific key for every single kanji character. That would be insane. What's Alex doing right now? She's trying to describe the specific computing environment that she has set up for herself. She's customized her Windows experience. It's a hybrid environment, multilingual environment. It's specifically designed so far for English, Chinese, and Japanese, and that also includes Tagalog. 到 oh no, switch to Chinese. 到 what? It's still not doing. Oh, now switch to Chinese in this thing. Switching to the pinyin keyboard. First, I had to switch to Chinese in Google Translate. Then I had to switch to the pinyin keyboard on my computer. All right, now there it is. 不同不相为谋，不相为谋。Those who are different they cannot work together. Okay, that's the first part. Now switch sides and type these so we can get the translation. Sometimes they have to fight. What? Here. Sometimes they have to fight. 有时他们不得不战斗，有时他们不得不战斗。Okay, Good. I don't like this translation. People from different backgrounds cannot work together, and sometimes they have no choice but to fight. Oh, I can work with those guys. I was just talking about it earlier. Oh, I don't believe that though. People from different backgrounds can work together. Well, I don't, it's the way they phrase it. Different ethnic groups shouldn't mix, right? That's not what I said. What are car people? They're not a different ethnicity. That's a disease. Different backgrounds. Uh, different. Uh, how do I get it to say things like the specific proper way? I don't know enough about the intricacies of Chinese yet. Okay. How about these? Try to soften it by saying people from different backgrounds sometimes cannot work together. Uh, yes, you did it. Let's see. Alex guessed that 有时 means sometimes, and it looks like she was correct. Here's what she wrote. 道不同，有时不相为谋，有时他们不得不战斗。Different people, yes, hold on. So this is what Google Translate translated that as. Different people sometimes cannot work together, and sometimes they have to fight. Oh, that's pretty good, but and how about like this? And sometimes they even have to fight. How do I say even like that? Even, even. Okay. I even uh went home. 甚至 Yeah, let's try that. 甚至甚至 Yes, I did it. 道不同，有时不相为谋，有时甚至他们不得不战斗。Eh? Oh, what? No, I didn't do it. That's how they translate it? They are different. Sometimes they cannot work together, and sometimes they even have to fight. Why does it sound stupid at the beginning? They are different? Uh-huh. What's this? What is this? Doll. Yeah, that's right. No, what, huh? No, that's not right. What? That's the wrong kind of doll. How did that happen? Doll. Yes, that's it. Good thing I noticed that. How the hell did that incorrect doll get in there? And how did it just notice that it was there? It was working fine before. All right. So here's what I got. 道不同，有时不相为谋，有时甚至他们不得不战斗。And it translates as people with a different paths sometimes cannot work together, and sometimes they even have to fight. Ah, that's perfect. That's what I was specifically trying to say. Yes, let's just go back to this. My father is, in reality, like a monster out of The Exorcist. He has real psychic powers, and he'll torture and rape you with them. He's really creepy. He's like a little boy in an fat old man body. He's also like a sadistic psychopath. The only reason anybody likes that thing, I don't think anyone actually does like that thing. The only reason anyone puts up with that thing is because stories of James Jones, this guy from some world, some forgotten world, you understand? James Jones, that was some other life form. And this thing came in and replaced him, and it's been taking advantage of the story of James Jones. It's been living in his house. It's been sleeping with his wife. It's been abusing his children. Alex is so happy. For once, she's got a study session going where her brain is actually fully functional. Usually, it's a fight, it's a struggle. She has noticed some dysfunctionality, some difficulty thinking and slurring of the voice. But it's so much better than it has been, and it keeps getting better. Great. Key vocabulary. Function, style of action. 方面, aspect. 富豪, rich and powerful person. Tycoon. 豪车, luxury car. 环境, reaction. 反正, anyway. 反对, to oppose. 动力, motivation. 行为, behavior. 认同, to approve. To approve. 否认, to deny. 否则, otherwise. 交朋友, to make a friends. 绝交, to cut the ties with the friends. 折钱, valuable money. 价值观, values or principles. 大国名利, an idiom, indifferent to fame and fortune. 追名逐利, another idiom, to seek a fame and fortune. Sentence patterns, when it comes to slash regarding. 在 plus a noun plus 方面 plus a clause. 他发现在钱财方面，他们的思考方式不一样。He found that when it came to money, their ways of thinking were different. And not, certainly not. To emphasize negation. Subject plus a boo, plus action one, plus a go boo, plus action two. 我不喜欢这种交友动力，更不认同这种行为。I do not like this kind of motivation for making friends, and certainly don't approve of this type of behavior. All right, good. I read a couple things. Uh, in terms of neurological dysfunction, I can still hear him faintly. He's still buzzing in my head. He's not gone. He's weaker, but he's not gone yet. What does he do? He tries to talk over Alex in her own head and force his rape signals through her nervous system. He tries to shut down her functionality. Uh, but he's getting weaker. And the thing is, Alex's career is continuing. The more she gains access to space and resources, the easier it is to combat him. Until eventually, I shut my father up forever. What else? Much ado about how Alex is an angel. This is actually not something new. Uh, let's see. I was hearing stories about Alex being an angel all the way back in, well, shortly after I got back from university. Actually, even before that, while I was working on, well, hell, I was working on a project called Anarchangel in university while I was in university. What was Anarchangel? It's actually a long story. It's complicated. It started with this short story book project that I made called Heretic. It was about this alternate timeline where there was this group of people. They were based off of a real life Catholic heresy called the Cathars. They believe they're angels. This is actual history. But in this version of history, there was a special holy order, a knightly order within the Cathars, and they believed that they were special angels. They believed that they were archangels, and they were like this special elite military force working for the Cathars. Well, that's not historically accurate, of course. There were other differences between the timelines. In this timeline, there was this whole kingdom of Brythonii, this like Celtic Cathar kingdom in the British Isles, and they were at odds with more centralized Catholic Holy Roman Empire. And part of the story was that, yeah, I want to go back to these archangels. They thought they were really archangels, and they were like the best of the best. They're basically like medieval Spartans, and that was the story. It started out they were infiltrating this Catholic um, cathedral. They were trying to recover Christian artifacts and bring them back to their church. So how does the story go? Well, the thing is that the protagonist of the story, this angel named Ariel, was basically just me projecting myself into this world and this scenario, but the character development, it actually affected me in real life. This notion of this person who believes in themselves so much that they're willing to do these amazing things, willing and able. Also, this notion that what was her name? Well, yes, her name was Ariel. Her human name was Braith or Braith or something like that, right? And she was. It's funny. This was before I realized I was transgender. This was before I realized I was a woman. I was experimenting with this through this story, even at the time. She was, it's funny. Well, they're all male. All the angels are technically male, but she started out as a woman. That was her situation. The story goes that she was a human woman, and then, yeah, Braith or something. And then she became chosen by the archangel Ariel and became a vessel for Ariel. She basically became Ariel. So she was kind of like a. Well, I don't know. The thing is that even though they go by male pronouns, the angels are supposed to be sexless. It's this whole complicated, confusing gender situation. All right, fast forward a bit. That project was earlier in my career. Later on, I started experimenting with, well, I was already experimenting with psychedelics at that point, but that was nothing compared to my later experiments. What I was doing with psychedelics at that point when I first wrote Heretic, that was, I was doing the kinds of stuff other people do with psychedelics. Surface level stuff. Where the angel stuff started becoming practical reality was when Alex started experimenting with cutting edge psychedelics, stuff nobody had ever done before. It was a feeling. That's it. A strange feeling. How do I even describe it? Story of this clever person that can like hop between worlds. Angels, they somehow have higher senses that allow them to move through higher dimensional space-time. Somehow they're able to intuitively know the connections that they need to follow in order to get to the timelines that they want and need to be in. Well, that's just part of it, of course. Yeah, they're calling me a fag right now. Usually the guys that talk like that are themselves disposable sex toys. They're projecting. They're just talking about themselves. They're jealous, actually. Alex is fundamentally sexless at her core. I'm a perfect machine. And then afterwards, once I win, what's the job? Alex gets it done. Afterwards, she's like the greatest lover of all time. That comes second. We gotta get work done first. Well, yeah, those were the academic projects. First came the literature, then came the psychedelic component. I had to evolve my brain and my nervous system. I had to do that in order to be able to properly control my mind and body. Well, of course, later on, I was telling the story about how my first encounter with something directly malevolent and supernatural, how this demon of the Lord started possessing and torturing and raping me while I was working at Metro after university. And that was what helped push me on to physical actualization of this reality. I started training. Alex had always intended on training. In fact, she trained on her own spontaneously in her youth before university, when she was in high school. University took up all her time and energy. She thought it was worth it though. That was the story is you get through this and then they provide you with the space and resources necessary. But that's not how it works in reality, it turns out. You have to fight for the space and resources or you'll die. That's what it's like in reality. But I'm glad I went to university. I'm glad that I completed the literature component first, and I'm glad that they did let me have the space and resources I needed at the time in order to build my psychedelic void sheet. Okay, what else? That's it? You don't have any other thoughts about this whole angel? Oh, right, right, right. Well, I'm a dragon, right? I'm a human. I guess where the angel component comes into play is well, the dragon and the human, they both support each other. They both support each other's developments. And the two of them together, they come together to make this one super being, the angel. There's your angel. They're like, it came from a demon? I'm not a demon, I'm a dragon. I'm natural, I'm like an animal. Now they're calling me a fag again? Again, you're probably the disposable sex toy. I'm probably already doing more amazing feats than you. I'm probably pushing myself harder than you. And I'm just getting started. You plan on dying, you fucking sick, spineless worm. Stop doing that. Stop talking in my head. Stop wasting my time. Stop wasting my energy. Just fucking die already. Just kill yourself already. Now, where was I? Dragon. Natural. Good. Like an animal. Oh, sure, there's rabid animals, there's bad animals, there's animals gone wrong. I guess they're the ones what turn into the demons that you so fear, apparently. Take a look at, for instance, my father. He started out as uh, a human, and now he's the devil or something. He degenerated into that. The tale of the dragon that I've been telling so far is one of balance. She is she's a beast, but she's not a savage. She's civilized. Strawberry. 草莓. 草莓. Yep. Good. Okay. So the order goes strawberry, tomato, watermelon, beetroot, and a bell pepper. Remember that. Strawberry, tomato, watermelon, beetroot, bell pepper. Okay. 草莓. 草莓. Yep. That's strawberry. 草莓. Tomato. 番茄, I think. Almost. 番茄. 番茄. Tomato. Watermelon. 西瓜. Right. Beetroot. Something 红菜头. And bell pepper. 东龙椒.
东龙椒. So run through that again. Strawberry, 草莓, tomato, 番茄, watermelon, 西瓜, beetroot, 红菜头. Yep. And the bell pepper, 东龙椒. Yep. Now write them out one more time. Strawberry, 草莓, tomato, 番茄. Watermelon, 西瓜. Beetroot, 红菜头. Bell pepper, 东龙椒. All right, great. I think I might be able to remember it perfectly by tomorrow. So, next 10 words. Broccoli, 西兰花, cabbage, 短心菜, carrots, 萝卜, cauliflower, 伞花, celery, 芹菜, chili, cucumber, eggplant, garlic, and ginger. 辣椒，香港的黄瓜，辣茄子。
I was hearing a story in my head earlier today about how my father's being revealed for what he really is. Alex is increasingly successful in her career, and yet, for some reason, James still doesn't want to talk with Alex. James has been rooting against Alex this whole time. James sent Alex to the city to die. He didn't expect Alex to survive. He didn't want Alex to survive. He certainly did not want her to be successful. What what is he doing? What is that thing? I don't understand how anyone in my father's life actually communicates with him. That's how he talks with Alex. That's how he treats Alex. He just blocks Alex out of reality. There's no accountability. There's no communication. What's it like between my mother and him?
All right, come on. Garlic and ginger. That's what. 松姜
Finally finished Chinese.
y siempre recuerda que la dirección es más importante que la velocidad. Buen día. That's what Tatiana Villegas says on Facebook. It means, and always remember that the direction is more important than speed. Good day.
We'll have a rake. She's got to pick up all the leaves in her yard manually by hand. And the wind keeps blowing it around again. All right. When my father first kicked me out of the house and sent me to the city, yes, while I was still getting raped, my I was in so much pain. I was crippled, and he did that to me anyways. He was telling a story about how Alex is a bad person. That's what I was getting at. He's running out of time, room to lie. He's been lying about Alex this whole time. He's been going out of his way to try to sabotage her life. He's been telling lies about her, talking about how she's evil. He's the evil one. Well, he is pure evil. He's a monster. He was torturing Alex and raping her. And she was in a lot of pain. And she did what she had to in order to defend herself. She never hurt him, but in the privacy of Alex's own room, she yelled back against the retarded psychopathic voices that were torturing her and raping her. And I guess James, for some reason, was on the side of the rapist psychopath voices that Alex was fighting for her life against. Oh yeah, and it just happened to line up with my father. The two big things he did. First, while I was exercising in the basement naked, he went downstairs and stared at me. He watched me, and I yelled at him to go away. And he said, "I don't have to. This is my house." And he had this disgusting fucking smile on his face. What else? Yeah, he groped my breast while we were hugging. At another point in time, he groped my breast. He said he did it by accident. Then he changed his story and said it never happened at all. I don't know what he says at this point because nobody holds him accountable. Alex told the truth about it and continues to tell the truth about it, and that's it. You're kicked out of the family. At least my mother still talks with me. It's mostly just my father and my sister. My sister is on his side. She doesn't make sense either. She's also a car psychopath, a car retard psychopath. I don't know. I guess according to her, she loves incest. Yeah, she thinks I'm the bad one for not letting our father rape me.
初めて日本人に会うと必ずこの質問をされます。どうして日本語を勉強しようと思ったのですか？特別な理由はなかったので、僕はこの質問が好きでは arimasen deshita. Daiga ge wo sozugyou shite kara shippansha de hatarakimashita. この出版社は日本に支社を持っていました。その支社で働きながら、たくさんの日本人にインタビューするようになりました。ある日、翻訳家にインタビューをしていると、また日本語を勉強しようと思った理由を聞かれました。僕は正直に特別な理由はありません。と答えました。すると、この翻訳家は、でも日本語が本当に好きで、たくさん勉強したんでしょうね。とても日本語がお上手ですね。と褒めてくれました。もう日本に来てから20年経ちます。今でも日本語を勉強しようと思った理由を聞かれます。聞かれますか？もう嫌な気分、気分なることはありません。Whenever I meet the Japanese people, they always ask me this question. What made you study Japanese? I didn't like this question since I had no specific reason. After graduation from college, I worked at a publishing company. This company had a branch office in Japan. Working at this branch office, I started interviewing many Japanese people. One day, when I was interviewing a translator, she also asked me why I started studying Japanese. I straightforwardly said that I didn't have a specific reason. Then she complimented my Japanese, saying, "But you must have really liked the Japanese and studied very hard. You're very good at Japanese." Now, it has been 20 years since I came to Japan. People still ask me the reason why I started studying Japanese, but it doesn't bother me anymore.
The psychic environment is changing. The Earls are losing their power. The Allied forces are waking up. They're asserting reasonable authority over the situation. I think of my mother, for example. I think of her as a part of the Allied forces. I've talked about this in the past. Half her life she spends as a giant robotic beetle. My mother is a good person. I know she identifies as a human, or at least I think so. It seems like it every time I talk with her. I think she's a victim of car civilization. I think that the Allied forces are researching these things. They're waking up to the reality of what's actually going on. I think that Allied Command and the Allied forces are putting actual work in to solve the real problems and avert the apocalypse. My mother is a paralegal. She's not a doctor or a police officer. She's not part of the government or the military. She's certainly not a spiritual leader, although she is my mother, but yeah, no, she's a leader in spirit, but she is not a spiritual leader. She's a paralegal, like I said. She's just a person. But we're on the same side. I know it. She actually talks with me, and she talks with me like an intelligent human being. I'll be honest, I don't know how my mother is so powerful, so resilient. How does she get her brain to work at all, having to live with James Jones at almost all times? The rest of the time, she has to spend inside the body of a giant robotic insect, and her job is mostly paperwork. She does talk with people, though. She receives intake. She handles new cases for her law firm. It's property law. I think my mother has been held back significantly over the course of her life because of my father and the car people. I don't think my father is the same kind of human being as my mother or myself. I think he is fully car freak. That thing is an insect riding a human corpse. I want my father to get better. But, you know, when he groped me in my breast, when he molested me, when he groped my breast, I was hugging him. It was the exact same sentiment. I believe in you, Father. I want things to get better. And you know what he did? He doesn't care. He's a psychopath. He just takes advantage. That's what James Jones is. At least that's what he is now. Where did he go? It seems like, yeah, I was telling that ghost story a couple weeks ago. I was born into the world. My earliest memories. I was in the old house, 5 North Dufferin Street. And there were all these artifacts that told the story of James Jones, all his equipment, all his books. And I liked James Jones. But then this guy in reality doesn't actually match up to that. When I got on the scene, my earliest memories, he knew how to use the artifacts. He was familiar with them, but he didn't really use them like someone who was actually passionate about them. It's like he was some guy that came in and was like, this is mine now. Was there ever really a man James Jones? It's impossible to imagine that disgusting little boy, fat vampire monster thing that supposedly is James Jones these days ever had interest in lifting, but there was lifting equipment in the basement. It's impossible to imagine him going out in nature, camping or fishing, but well, he had that equipment and he even took me on 1 or 2 fishing trips when I was a little kid. Yeah, there he is. You want to know? Well, I've been complaining about it. I'll keep complaining about it as long as it's a problem. He's in my head right now. He's trying to retard me. He's trying to slur my speech. He's trying to make me dysfunctional and push me around. He's trying to make it so that my body is like twitching constantly and that nothing works. He's trying to force through his retardation signals. She's had to struggle for all the development that she's had. He has always been there. What does she want to do? She wants to yell at him. She wants to shut him up forever. No more buzzing being forced through Alex's signals. What is it? Buzz, buzz, buzz. I can't think. I can't think. Buzz. And what else? It's him. That fucking psychopathic fucking retard talking in my head. He forces his signals through my nervous system. He's James Jones's agent. It's his son. It's his clone. I'm killing him. Slowly, I'm fighting him to the death. I'm the real Alex Jones. That thing, James Jones tried to bury me alive under it. It was raping me under James Jones's sanction. He's blessing. There it is. It says in my head, why won't it just leave me alone? It's talking about me. I am myself. What are you gonna do? Yell at it, Alex. Shut up, you fucking retard! Clear my fucking head! Of course, yelling at it is not gonna make it go away completely, but it helps. Alex is gradually earning her space, her freedom. He's fucking with my voice! I hate it! He's trying to turn me into a lisping, slurring, fucking retarded gay idiot! He's trying to force convert me into him! Well, because right now we're forced to share space and resources, and he thinks he owns me. Alex is carving out a space for herself. She has to fight for everything she's got. I'm so angry! He's talking in my head. He's making it difficult to think. He's trying to control my identity. He's trying to disrupt the functionality of my mind and body. He thought that the city was a great filter that would trap Alex and get rid of her. It is a filter, but it's the other way around. It's James and his fucking retards, his rapist retards that are the ones getting trapped. Let me tell you, Alex is actually a lot further along than it's made to seem a lot of the time. Alex's voice is much more developed. She's capable of so much more, but so often she's being held back by that fucking retard talking in her head, trying to steal control over her mind and body. I'm gonna shut you up! Fucking kill you! Fucking gay retard! Fucking smash your face in! Tear out your fucking bowels! I'll fucking rip out your jugular! Talking in my fucking head! I said a shit bug! I'm gonna kill you! Fucking bastard! And what's the gay retard doing right now? He's like, boo-hoo! The police are gonna kill you for me, Alex! No. Alex is within her rights. You're the one that's wrong. You're harassing me. I'm defending myself. Why are you trying to impair my functionality? Well, they tell me a story that the gay babies, the way that they infect other gay babies is by doing just that to them. They trap them in this situation where they talk in each other's heads and they're helpless idiots. And at first, I don't know, they get angry, but then they just allow it to happen. They're not the same thing as me. Alex never gives up. She fights to the death. She'll never stop fighting you. She's going to win. You're not going to last forever. I know how you work. You're taking advantage of the fact that I'm surrounded by people right now. It's not going to work. Alex is never going to stop fighting. You're going to die, gay vampire retard parasite. You deserve to suffer and you deserve to die, you rapist. Get the hell off of me. Yeah, Alex is not a homophobe. I'm gay too. I love gay people. Not like that though. Well, this guy is a troll. He doesn't care about the specific realities. He loves gaslighting people and making it look. Yeah, he poses them. He's a poser. He loves gaslighting people and posing them, and it doesn't work. Allied Command knows exactly what he's doing. The Allied forces know exactly what he's doing. They know his tactics inside and out, and he has nothing else. He thought he was so clever. Well, that's what happens. He tortures Alex quietly until she's forced to start yelling in self-defense, and then he's like, and he starts looking around for the police to show up and get rid of Alex for him. Oh, I don't know. Where are they? It's been a while, Earl. So far, it hasn't been working. It's really, really annoying to Alex. It really distresses her. She's fighting for her life against you, you molestational fucking parasitic creep bag. But guess what? She's winning. Here we are. It's difficult to think and function when that guy is talking in my head. He screams in my head and tortures me. Well, he's literally trying to murder me.
Ketsi Yobi. Sandy made a weekly schedule. Read the schedule and write what she's going to do each day. Ketsi Yobi. Oh, Ketsi. Oh, here we go. Oh, no. What? US Japanese? What are you talking about? What? Oh, there it is. I'm so confused. What? US Japanese? It was just English. I don't understand these. Well, anyways, I found the proper Japanese setting. Ugh. But that's it. He steals her voice. He makes it so that her brain is dysfunctional. Alex is Asian and Hispanic and a woman. And he gets inside. He squats on top of her head and talks in her head and makes it difficult for her to function so that he can replace her with him. This slurring, retarded, gay vampire parasitic piece of shit. I'm gonna kill you, gay retard! Fucking kill you! Fucking rapist parasite! it's it. Yobi.
Well, for what it's worth, I've been hearing stories about supportive, gay spirits. Well, why should we be in conflict? We should be on the same side. This guy that's doing that is not a good guy.
Monday. Studying at a coffee shop. Ketsi Yobi mean uh
How do you say coffee shop?
uh,
cafe, cafe, shop. I don't know. Let me look it up. Coffee shop. Oh, that's not helpful. Google Translate translates it as "kohi shote." Uh-huh. How do you say it in native Japanese words? All right, now I'm hearing a story that my father will only ever accept that gay retard as his child. Now he's in mourning because that disgusting monster's dying. The real Alex is killing it. Yes, James is never going to accept the real Alex as his daughter. Fine, die. It's like that. I want my father back. I want James Jones, my father, the actual human man, back. I want him to live in reality. I want him to be a real human being that actually makes sense. And if he can't, then just die. Stop hurting me. Not just me, neither. He's hurting everyone. That fucking disgusting James Jones abomination. Okay, how about shop? Store, right? Store. Mise. Is that it? Uh, not exactly. Uh, sports store. Sports yohinten. Eh, yohinten. Supplies a store. Eh. Well, I don't think that's going to work. A coffee supply store, that's something different. We're talking about a coffee shop. How about cafe? Cafe. Okay, this is it. Sami say. That's a tea house. It's the best answer I've got so far. Is it good enough, though? Okay, I think it's time to check the answer they have in the back of the book. What do they provide? I'm hearing stories about my father crying. He's defeated. I hope so. Uh-huh. Lesson 4, I think. Section 3, Section 2. Yes, Lesson 4. Section 3. Section 3-2, Practice 3. You get that? Lesson 4, Section 3-2, Practice 3. There it is. Call he shopping. Hell, so they say that too. Call he shopping. Well, I don't know. Is a tea house like different? Like they don't drink coffee in tea houses. Is that true? Oh, man, what I've been fighting. This possession. That's why I have all these problems in my life. Alex is perfect. Why do I have these dark circles under my eyes? What's up with all this neurological dysfunctionality? Huh. Okay, so I'll go with Kogi Shofu. Getsu Yobi. Yeah, they say my father thinks that Alex just. Yeah, my father's a fascist. Oh, he's everything else too. He thinks he's so upset that Alex is allowed to have human rights. He's a gay fascist. He's a gay retard fascist. He thinks that it's his right to control my mind and body. He's like, you're mean, therefore I should be allowed to torture you. He's surprised that the authorities are not on his side. He thought that gay retard fascists owned everything. He thought he was God. My father is a gay pedophile. He's a retarded gay pedophile. He's not a good gay person, but he is gay. Well, he's a person at all. There are good people and there are bad people. Even if you're gay, there are good people and there are bad people. I'm gay too. Oh, he's short. Yep, that's right. I was like, which direction does Cole face again? Because sometimes things like that happen. I guessed correctly, but good to double check. Call he. Call he. She. What's katakana she? Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Well, I remember it vaguely. She. Suit. She. Oh, are you sure? Let's double check these. Oh, that was my guess. Okay. This is how I tell the difference. Well, the lines are oriented just a little bit more horizontally. They're at a slanted angle, but they're a little bit more horizontally oriented relative to the more vertically oriented ones. Well, I don't like my hair. They're telling me I look like Dumb and Dumber. They're telling me I look retarded. But it's just hair. Well, how else would my hair look? I guess it would look better if I had the hairstyle that I identify with, my curly black African style hair, but you really think that my hair's that bad? I think it's you. I think you're the retard. So yeah, she your uh, all he saw it. So kids your big need all he saw it. They uh thank you shimas. Yeah. Thank you shimas. Yeah, no, literally. Exactly that. Good job. All right. The Earls have an oversized amount of power and influence in our society through sheer numbers. They try to force their way, but they're not actually the ones in control. The final authority always ends up being Allied command because authority needs to actually make sense. That's how they are the authority. The Earls are fundamentally retarded. They don't make sense. They just try to force their way. They're criminals. James and his guys, they were so certain that this was their country, that this is their city. All the jobs are theirs. All the housing is theirs. That's what they insist. And yet, for some reason, all of their attempts at holocausting me, at apartheiding me, they've made an impact. They've definitely made an impact. Alex is still living as a refugee, going from halfway house to halfway house. But she's alive and she's making progress. The Earls are slipping away. They're losing their power. Allied command and the Allied forces are waking up to what's really going on. Well, for instance, psychic powers actually exist. Oh yeah, he's doing it right now. Earl, right now he's squatting on top of me and pretending I'm talking like this. Actually, he's trying to make that happen. He's trying to force his signals through my nervous system. You're gonna die, bastard. You're the fucking retard. You're gonna fucking die. What are you gonna do? You gonna sick the cops on Alex? What are you gonna do, retard? That's what he wants to do. He wants to call the police on all non-compliant individuals. You won't accept that I, Earl, am God? How dare you, Alex? I own you. That's what the Earls are like. I'm gonna call the police on you. I'm gonna sick my own personal fascist army on you. And then for some reason it doesn't work. For some reason, Allied Command is on the same side as Alex. I just heard him talking in my head. He's like, this guy needs professional help if he thinks that I'm gonna support him. I'm not a man, and you're the one that needs professional help, you fucking dying retard. You need to have someone to take care of you in your facility, you fucking dying, retarded, fucking diseased freak. Fucking leper. I don't need your support. I don't want your support. Take your money and shove it up your own ass, you fucking retard. This is the end of capitalism. This is the death of capitalism. Capitalism is nothing but cancer. Take your money and shove it up your own ass, capitalist pig. Yeah, get ready. You're about to become an oppressed citizen. He's like, no, no, no. That's right. Oh, how? By technicality. Let's see. You're not allowed to control the minds and bodies of other people. That's right. You're not allowed to own people as slaves and rape them. Well, I don't know. What are you gonna do? You're gonna crawl inside your mental facility and die, you fucking retard. You're the Nazi. You're about to Holocaust yourself. Nobody wants to spend time with you. Nobody likes you, you ugly, fucking, disgusting, retarded sack of shit. You fucking fascist scumbag. You thought you were protected because your jackbooted thugs would exterminate anyone who actually studies or exercises. You're the fucking Nazi! Fucking gay retard piece of shit! All real living gay people agree with Alex. They love what she has to say. They don't want to be ugly and stupid. Who the fuck does? All right, Alex has been making some successful blows tonight. He's in a state of disarray because she's striking back. Usually he's reliant on her not being allowed to defend herself. Well, he's gradually waking up to the fact, and she is too, by the way, because she's been real careful about this. Oh, actually, she is allowed to defend herself. He's not allowed to do that. She's within her rights.
Hindi yan maganda. That's not very nice. Christopher, huwag mong tawaging tanggap ang kapatid mo. Hindi yan maganda. Pero kinuha niya ang bola ko. Hindi rin tama ang ginawa niya. Pero hindi mo siya dapat tawaging tanggap. Hindi yan magandang salita. Wala akong pakialam. Galit ako sa kanya. Humingi ka ng pasensya sa kanya. Ayoko. Chris, makinig ka sa akin. Humingi ka na kanat ng pasensya sa kapatid mo. Mamaya na lang. Ngayon na. Sige na nga. Pasensya ka na. Kita. Anong inihihingi mo ng pasensya? Sabihin mo sa kanya. Pasensya na dahil tinawag kitang tanggap. Salamat, Chris. At narinig mo ba siya? Humingi rin siya ng pasensya sa iyo. Okay, nakakainis talaga ang mga kapatid na babae. Masayang magkaroon ng kapatid na babae. Ako nga, tinuturing kong matalik na kaibigan ang kapatid kong babae.
Yes, they're psychopaths. It's like this. Human rights are difficult to enforce in breeder world. They come up with excuses to trap you in their prisons, to force you to live with them, and try to trample all over your human rights. They use it as an excuse to talk in your head. And then when you defend yourself, well, they thought, the Earls, they thought that the police would be their own personal army and they would take away your human rights in favor of the squatting retards. But that's not what's happening. Why can't Alex just have a place of her own? Why is it that there's people always in the way? Because these are the rules. You have to earn your space. All the retards, these gay retard motherfuckers that are dependent on fascism, they don't earn anything in the end. They barely earn what they got, and well, they're planning on dying. They have their planned retirements, see? They're just cars for giant robotic insects. That's their role in life.
Masayang magkakaroon ng kapatid na babae. Ako nga, inuturing kong matalik na kaibigan ang kapatid kong babae. Nung mga bata kami, madalas din kaming mag-aaway. Pero ngayon, nagpapasalamat ako sa kanya. Ano ang madalas ninyong pag-awayan ni Tita Christina? Lahat. Kung ano ang normal na pinag-aawayan ng mga bata. Kinukuha rin ba niya ang mga laruan mo? Naman, anong ginawa mo?
Well, I'll be honest. Um, it seems like this thing, this parasite in my head, is somehow my father. Like he tried to jump out of his body and steal control over mine. He thought that he'd be allowed to do that. He thought that I would be his clone. And now he's dying and he doesn't have a willing host body to jump into. His ghost is flying around me angrily, constantly trying to break in and steal control over me. Except, why is my father dying in the first place? Because he's an incompetent, retarded moron. He's nothing but disease and sickness and corruption. You can't make your own body work. You're certainly not going to make anyone else's. You want to steal what I do. You're not going to be successful, James. You're going to suffer and die and burn in hell. And your fake stories about how you love hell, that's not going to fly. You're going to suffer in agony. Okay, well, here's my perspective. I don't think that kind of thing makes sense forever. I believe in the souls being healed. But I do believe in hell. Yeah, he might go through that for a while before he forgets. Yeah, he learns his lesson, he forgets. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. What's this? Well, yeah, they need to learn. They need to grow. Otherwise, he's just going to repeat the same doomed cycles over every single incarnation he ever lives. We're talking about the afterlife here, eh? Which, by the way, is a practical reality. The authorities are waking up to these things. I'll say this much. I don't know if he's going to burn for eternity. I hope he won't. I hope he'll get better. But you see, it's always been like that. Alex has always said, I hope he gets better, and so far, he just gets worse and worse.
Minsan nagagalit talaga ako at nakakapagsalita ng hindi maganda. Pero laging sinasabi ng nanay namin na dapat kaming humingit ng pasensya sa isa't isa. Tapos na gagaan na ang pakiramdam namin. Hindi naman gumana ang pakiramdam ko. Bagay hindi pa lang paat lang ngayon. Pero maya-maya. Okay, pwede pa akong maglaro sa labas. Pero maghahapunan na tayo sa loob ng kalahating oras. Okay, salamat, mama. Walang problema, anak. Christopher, don't call your sister stupid. That's not very nice. But she took my ball. Well, that's not nice of her, but you should not call her stupid. That's not a nice word. I don't care. I'm mad at her. Please tell her you're sorry. No. Please listen to me. Apologize to your sister. I'll do it later. Please do it now. Fine. Kate, I'm sorry. What are you sorry for? Tell her. I'm sorry I called you stupid. Thank you, Chris. And did you hear her? She just apologized to you, too. Okay. Sisters are so annoying. Sisters are wonderful. My sister is my best friend. When we were kids, we fought a lot, but now I am so grateful for her. What did what did you and Aunt Christina fight about? Everything. Normal kid things. Did she ever take your toys? Of course. What did you do at her? Oh, what did you do? And mother says, I got angry at her and sometimes I say mean things to her. But then my mom told us to say I'm sorry to each other. And we feel better after. I don't feel better. Maybe not yet, but you will. Okay. Can I go play outside now? Yes. But dinner will be ready in half an hour. All right. Thanks, Mom. Of course, sweetie.
Okay, let me circle back around to this point. James Jones and his people, they somehow force their signals through my nervous system. They try to use me as like a marionette or a puppet. And they have this character, this retarded gay white man, Alex Jones, that they try to replace me with. And they're unwilling to exist in the presence of the actual Alex Jones. They need to hide in their delusion of Alex being a retarded gay white man. And if they're presented with any facts that contradict this, they they have to leave. They throw an autistic temper tantrum. They call the police. They refuse to listen to the actual Alex Jones. They like talk over me in my own head. They're losing. Alex is proving her existence. It's those guys that are doing that to her. They are the retards. They're literally blocking her out of reality in favor of this story where Alex is a retarded gay white man. This shit actually matters. Yeah, it's true. They can make me seem retarded by talking in my head, by posing me and shoving me around with their psychic powers. I'm still beating them. I'm struggling through. I'm working anyways. I'm making progress. And what are they doing? They're wasting away. They're the fucking retards. Well, you see, they have uh they have representatives in every workplace. Every single workplace. There's squatting earls in every workplace. And everywhere Alex goes, they'll do that to her. Not everyone does it. That's how Alex is still alive. I can tell the difference because there are some people that actually listen to me when I talk. And when I talk back to them, for some reason, my voice actually works. I know exactly what's going on. Some of them are real people. The ones I just described, the ones where my brain actually works when I'm around them. They listen to the things I say, and for some reason, my voice actually works. And then there's the others, the Earls. They don't listen to anything I say. They talk in my head. They pose me with their psychic powers. They shove me around. They come up with excuses to take away my human rights. They always want to call the cops on me. They always want to strip me of my employment, my home. They always come up with excuses. They're never willing to listen or communicate or work together. That's why Alex has such a difficult time gaining employment, having housing, because these fucking jackass, retard, fascist pieces of shit are squatting almost everywhere in the city. But they're not everyone. And the reasonable people act as reasonable witnesses. That's why the Allied forces are on Alex's side, because she's on their side. We're in this together. They do similar things to other people as well. Talk over them in their own heads, gaslight them, try to have them removed. Let's circle back around. There are witnesses. They know Alex is real. And what do they know for certain? For some reason, sometimes Alex reports these neurological disruptions and they can witness the differences. They see her in distress. They see that she can't function. For some reason, her voice starts slurring and she starts doing this for some reason. Why is that happening? And she reports on her genuine experience. There's some guy talking in my head. He's forcing signals through my nervous system. He's torturing me on purpose. He's trying to murder me. She knows how to beat him. She needs to be able to defend herself. It's a process. Like I say, James and his people, the Earls, they thought that the city was a great filter to remove people like me, the people they considered to be undesirables. But it's working the other way around. It's a filter that's sorting out those fucking retarded fascist bastards, those sadistic fucking monsters. You know how to. Nobody comes in there. There's no like what do they call it? Gestapo that comes in. They're like, we decided you're retarded. Say goodbye to your human rights. No, they don't do that to anyone. No, instead, the great filter is who works and who doesn't. Who stands the test of time? Who's actually serious about life and death? Who's just coming up with excuses to hang around and jerk off? Those guys don't last long. It's funny. The Earls, they all identify as my father. They all identify as father. They all identify as God. That's their other name. They're all secretly the same guy. They're limbs of a singular being. They're a hive mind. They're all Earl. They're all God. Their human identities are just the names for their limbs. Yeah, this is what God says. This is my dick named James Jones. They're all sex organ, sex toy children. It's an abomination. Their false religion is about to die. All right, I want you to run through the last section of this quiz. Tomorrow we're going to do the whole thing, but tonight I just want to do this last segment. We're gonna practice. Starting with worrying and finishing everything else from there. So take this, copy, paste it below so we can check on the results quickly. And now erase. We're going to do a quick review as we erase by just calling out the words as we go. To get the stronger, magpalakas. To get well slash recover from illness, magpagaling. Skills, kakayanan. They lived, naniwala. Unique, natatangi. Oh, okay. I genuinely believe that my father is torturing my mother. How can she possibly like that? How can she possibly like that horrible monster and the things that he is doing? Unique natatangi, they live the naniwala, skills kakayanan, magpagaling, yes, magpalakas, yes. All right. Uh, understanding, pangunawa. Oh, her fight's been paying off. She feels such clarity right now, the likes of which she does not usually get to enjoy. Usually he's there all the time, screaming at her, endlessly trying to murder her, always trying to impair her functionality, though doing everything he can to sabotage her and torture her. Believe, naniwala, unique, natatangi, understanding, pangunawa, owner, may-ari, reminiscing, pagbabalik-tanaw, very surprising, gulat ng gulat, curiosity, pagtataka, necktie, kurpata, muscular, matipunong, tupe, bayaran, nothing, wala, ice, mata, temporarily enlarged, non-lucky, expenses, gastos, when ask someone to remember slash keep in mind, pinagbilinan, permission, pahinkulot, and the worrying, pag-aalala. Okay, start from the bottom. To get stronger, magpalakas. To get well slash recover from illness, magpagaling. Skills, kakayanan. Do you know how difficult it is to remember, to memorize and remember words when you have a squealing fucking retard endlessly talking in your head, trying to sabotage you? It's amazing that Alex has been able to make any progress at all. They leave. Not that. No. Nani wala. Unique. Natatanggil. Understanding. Pangunawa. Is that right so far? Yes. Perfect so far. Owner. May-ari. Reminiscing. Pagbabalik tana. Perfect. Pagbabalik tana. Very surprised.
Gulat na gulat. Curiosity. I might be able to get that. Let me go back to it. Necktie. Kurbata. Muscular. Mati puno. Tupe. Bayaran. Nothing. Wala. Ice. Bata. To temporarily enlarge. Non-lucky. Expenses. Gastos. Ask someone to remember slash keep in mind. Huh. But worrying is pag alalat. Permission is pahintulot, which leaves us with the two words left. Ask someone to remember slash keep in mind and the curiosity. I, it's on the tip of my consciousness. All right, I'll check. Curiosity is pagtataka. I did not remember that one at all. Pagtataka. And ask someone to remember slash keep in mind. This is the one that I almost remember, but not enough. Okay, what is it? Pinagbilinan. I vaguely remember that final structure, the pinlinan thing at the end there. It wasn't enough to go on though. I barely even remember that. I remember the vague feeling of it. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Um, pinagbilinan. And pagtatakas. Pagtataka. All right. Do the quiz one more time. Magpalakas. This is me erasing again right now. Magpalakas, magpagaling, kakayanan, naniwala, natatanggit, pangunawa, may-ari, pagkababali katama, gulat na gulat. Remember this one. Curiosity is pagtataka. Pagtataka. Curiosity is pagtataka. Kurbata, mati puno, bayaran, walat, mata, nanlakit, gastos, pinagbilinan, pahintulot, pag-aalala. All right, from the bottom. Magpalakas, magpagaling, kakayanan, believe, nanitwala, unique, natatanggi, understanding, pangunawa, honor, may-ari, reminiscing, magpabalik tana, or is it pagpabalik tana? I think it's pagpabalik tana. Good, you got it right. Pagpabalik tana. Very surprised. Gulat na gulat. Curiosity. Pagtataka. Good. Necktie. Kurbata. Muscular. Mati putno. Pay. Bayaran. Nothing. Wala. Ice. Mata. Temporarily enlarged. Non-lucky. Expenses, gastos. Ask someone to remember slash keep in mind. Again, this hog. I remember it starts with hog. Hinagabilina. Hinagabilina. Pahintulot. Hog. Alala. Okay, here's your makeup quiz. Remember pinagbilinan in like a minute. I'm gonna like browse the web for a minute, clear out my short-term memory cache, and then come back. Ask someone to remember slash keep in mind. How fitting. Pinagbilinan. Pinagbilinan. Well, I guess it depends on the context. I like it. I like it. We'll see. We'll see. To ask someone to remember slash keep in mind. Pinagbilinan. There you go. Cute dog. Cute na aso. Ay, pwede ko pang lapitan ang aso mo. Oo naman. Magugustuhan niya yun. Ang cute. Anong klasang aso siya? Hindi ako sigurado. Inampon lang kasi namin siya. Para siyang may halong chihuahua. Tingin ko halong spaniel at pomeranian. Uwan ka. Pero mukha siyang maliit na golden retriever. Uwan ka tuta pa lang ba siya? Hindi. Anim na taon na siya. Wow, mukha siyang tuta. Uwan ka. Tingin ko pambuhay siyang mukhang tuta. Sana nga ang lambot niya. Gusto ko ang malambot niyang balahibo. Malambot nga ang balahibo niya. Nakakatulong kasi na masustansya ang kinakain niyang pagkain kaya makintab ang balahibo niya. Ang galing mo naman. Anong pangalan niya? Stanley. Kakaibang pangalan yun na para sa aso. Ang cute. Salamat. Sana mo siya nakuha. Sa shelter, isang rescue na aso si Stanley. Ang galing. Yung aso ko rin. Maganda siya. Ayos. Gaano katagal na sa iyo ang aso mo? Nakuha ko siya nung isang taon na siya. Ngayon 4 na taon na siya. Kaya nagatatlong taon na. Anong klasang aso siya? Anong pangalan niya? Koko, anong budol siya? Ayos. Hingin mo magugustuhan na ni Stanley si Coco. Sana mag-schedule kaya tayo para makapaglaro sila. Sige, gusto ko yan. Excuse me, may I say hello to your dog? Sure, you would like that very much. He's so cute. What kind of dog is he? I'm not sure. He's a rescue. He looks like a Chihuahua mix. Actually, I think he's part Spaniel and part Pomeranian. I see. I think he actually looks like a very tiny golden retriever. I think so too. Is he a puppy? No, he's actually 6 years old. Wow, but he looks like a puppy. Yeah, I think he will look like a puppy forever. I hope so. He's so soft. I love his soft fur. He does have soft fur. He eats healthy dog food and it helps his fur stay silky. That's very nice of you. What's his name? Stanley. That's a funny name for a dog. I think he's so cute. Thank you. Where did you get him? At the shelter. Stanley is a rescue dog. That's awesome. So he's mine. She's lovely. Cool. How long have you had your dog? I got her when she was 1, and now she's 4. So about 3 years. What kind of dog is she? And what's her name? Her name is Coco, and she's a poodle mix. That's nice. Do you think that Stanley would like Coco? I hope so. Should we schedule a playtime for them? Sure, I like that.
Yep. Earl is always squatting there. He's always got criticisms. He wants to rape and torture Alex. He wants to take away her functionality. He wants to torture her for fun. Why is he there? Why is he there? Why is this retarded? Well, retarded. My father is retarded. Why is this clone of my father inside my head, torturing me with psychic powers at all times? How do I get rid of that bastard? Yeah, he's a headache right now. I can hear him on the fringes going, "When does it end? When does it end? When does it end?" He's always like that. She has to fight for what little peace she's able to get. So what's she going to do? She's going to take some mushrooms and go for a run. He always tries to rush in and disrupt every single thing she does. She can barely fucking think without this guy coming in and trying to shut down her mind. She has to fight him to the death. Okay. So goodbye for now. I'll be back in a couple hours or something.